right, Shalom, Shalom. I would like to start off by giving honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kakodash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstar who well, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. As a high spirit with loyal. Today I want to go into a topic entitled, well, there is no title for it. I just had a couple of things in my spirit. And one of the things was, you know, as far as health is concerned, Jake is combating, all right? Everybody wanted to lose weight, all right, and get in shape, all right? Jake is combating, all right, the war tactics against from Esau Edom, all right? It's not natural. The scripture says in Sirach 30 that a man will have care of his meat and his diet. And then if you look at the King James 16:11 version, it says a noble, because it says in Sirach, a cheerful and a good heart will have a care of his meat and diet. But in the 16:11 version, it says a noble man, a noble spirit will have care of his meat and diet. So it's noble to be particular about what you put in your body, to be very keen about what you put into your body, all right? But, you know, everybody is concerned about getting in shape or losing weight, men and women. But really, it's just the result. It's the result of being in America eating processed food, all right? But what happens is it became your normalcy. It's part of our normalcy. You go into any store, especially if it's not a health store, all right? 99% of the items, 95 to 99% of the items is made in a laboratory. It's products made in a fucking laboratory. So if 95 to 99% of the products in the store is chemically engineered in a laboratory, what are the odds that you're gonna eat healthy? It's pretty slim. It's pretty slim odds that you're gonna eat healthy, all right, or eat healthier. If the organic food is more, all right, and the non-organic food costs less, what are the odds that you're gonna eat the organic food? If the average person is getting paid $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year, and you got 2-3 kids, what are the odds that you're gonna just get the most organic, healthiest food, man? The odds are pretty slim. All right? Worried about your weight, making an effort to get your blood pressure down, to monitor your diabetes, take these blood pressure pills. If your blood pressure gets too high, you have a fucking heart attack. All right? That's the result of the standard diet. That's not natural or normal. They even have a heart attack at 60. When Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai engineered the body, he engineered these bodies to last about 120 years. All right? Now, one verse it did say the life of a man is about 70, maybe strength of year is 80, but on the average, you know, you have people, all right, because of what the Most High said during the time of Noah, that a man maximizes life at about 120, as opposed to, you know, 900, 800, 700 years. So even to this day, you have people in these what they call blue zone areas who live to be on average about 100 years old. So if it's natural in the 21st century, if it's realistic in the 21st century to live to be 120 years old, okay, why is it in the States you have a heart attacks at 60, 50, 40, 30, late 20s? That's your body reacting to this processed fucking food. And it's a war tactic against the people. It's an assault on the people. Processed food is an assault on the people, man. Right? But particularly the nation of Israel. All right, because you got Jacob in concentrated environments called the hood. And if you go to the hood, all right, it's a churches somewhere, It's a McDonald's, it's a Wendy's, it's a Taco Bell, it's a Rally's or a Checkers, it's a Long John Silver or a Captain D's. All these is ultra processed food. And it's not just processed food, it's ultra processed food. Your body is an organic item. Your body is organic. Your body is not engineered to break down food that was processed. It's not engineered to break down food that does not exist in the wild, in the jungle, in the planet Earth. All right? Oreos don't exist in the jungle. Honey buns don't exist in the jungle. It doesn't exist it doesn't grow out of the earth. So your body isn't designed to process that and assimilate it, and your body cells utilize it. It doesn't work like that. Your body can only do that with food that came from the earth. But by the time it's ultra processed, all right, your body, it just gets stuck in your body. It can become a poison, or your body will basically put it in the form of fat, all right, on your exterior, all right, because it can't process it, so it'll store it as fat. But guess what? Now you got love handles, you got extra weight, your waist is getting wider. Then they cooking the meats and hydrogenated oils. All right, your body has all type of abnormal responses to stuff like that, and you're eating like that at least 3 times a day. Then a lot of us have sedentary jobs. You know, truck drivers. A lot of truck drivers they're forced to get out of the truck and stop driving trucks for that particular company because their blood pressure got too high. All right, so yeah, you got these Federal Reserve notes. You got this stability for your family, which is great. But at the same time, you have to check your health too. But it's hard when you moving across America. I'm talking about as a truck driver, moving across America as a truck driver, and the only thing you fucking have is fucking fast food joints, man. When you pull up to a convenience store, there's 99% processed food, man. I mean, you might have a little cup of peaches. You go to a convenience store, might be a little cup of peaches or watermelon. We're talking about full meals, man. And a bag of cashews would be like $10. A bag of nuts would be like $10. So something ain't right. Something that should raise a question mark right there. You can pull up to churches. You can pull up to Wendy's and get a full meal for $5. But a bag of almonds or cashews is like $10. Something that's not right, man. A bag of organic apples might be $5, $7, but you can get a full meal at a fast food joint for like $5, $7. $5, that's the Jake price right there. So that's an incentive to eat the worst food. So the food that comes from the earth is more expensive, and you call it organic. But the food that comes from a laboratory, the scientists had to tamper with and manipulate it for your brain to become addicted. Your scientists had to manipulate it so your brain can become addicted. So that's why it's easy to have a desire to eat Wendy's fries or McDonald's fries and a cheeseburger, because your brain, cheese has, I think it's called opiates in it. The human brain gets addicted to opioids, right? But cheese naturally has opiates in it because it comes from that cow, all right? In the cow's milk, it has opiates. I think that's how you pronounce it. Correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a while since I looked at the word. But it has opiates in it. So like when a cow is nursing its young, the little young is supposed to be low-key addicted to the milk, but that's how it grows. So those say opiates is in milk or cheese, all right? So your brain, a lot of us are like low-key addicted to cheese because of the opiates involved in it. And it's fat, and the brain loves fat too, all right? So you got the cheese mixed with salt and oil because you got a cheeseburger, got the salt and the oil. And so the scientists know that the brain is hooked on that shit. It loves salt, oil, sugar. So you got this big ass drink that goes with your meal, which is empty calories. You get the cheese and the salt. The salt and the oil, and it's hot. And your brain loves all that. That's why it's and they inject the fat in the burger because your brain loves that fat. It loves that oil. But what happens is it creates this phenomenon that you're addicted to something that you can make yourself. You're addicted to getting this product from a fast food line when almost every American knows how to make a hamburger and fries at home. But they corner the market through convenience. The brain also is addicted to convenience because you skip the process. But Esau knows his science more than I do. But meanwhile, you don't like what you see when you look in the mirror, and a lot of us have gone through that. Or it's hard to button up your pants, or get these extra layers of skin on you, extra layers of fat, man. This shows you that processed food is a weapon against the people. All right, processed food is a weapon. Now, we're going to eat our bread defiled, so we're never going to have this 100% perfect food. But you have to understand, whether we was in Jerusalem or when we went to Africa, all right? You look at the pre-colonial West African diet, it was mostly plant-based. But outside of being mostly plant-based, you ate fish, and you more seldomly ate red meat, okay? You more seldomly ate red meat, but we ate leafy greens. We had roots and tubers and nuts and seeds and whole grains, man. See, in America, part of the reason why people have heart attacks, especially Jake, see, look, if people have cancer and all this stuff, because their body environment is cancerous, all right? When you only eat meat and you don't follow that up by leafy greens and vegetables and fruits, all right, you don't have anything to push the meat out. Then the meat is most likely processed. And what that does, the protein, the fat, and the carbs without the micronutrients, it creates an environment similar to the Lion King when Scar took over. If you remember the Lion King, all right, that environment when Scar took over, everything was dark and red and just gloomy. That's our acidic environment within our stomach when we don't have those micronutrients in our body that comes from leafy greens and fruits and vegetables, things of that nature, okay? When you only eat the macronutrients, it creates a cancerous environment, a cancerous acidic environment, all right? And the reason why Esau is the fucking devil, because it's a lot easier to sell you the macronutrients, and you process the macronutrients. You process the food that has macronutrients in it. All right, but it's a lot. It takes a lot more effort to put together a meal that comes from the fruits, vegetables, nuts, grains, the greens, the beans, greens, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. So in the Western mindset, we don't look at that as food. We don't look at that as food, But you can get a full meal within a salad, All right, so I mean that's pretty much the point, man. We're combating, we're victims of attacks from Esau through our food, because when you go into war strategies and you go into history of different wars, right, and different battles, a lot of the attacks on the different militaries or the different towns will be through their food supply. You'll cut off their food supply. You'll have a blockade, like with Cuba. There was an attack on Cuba. All right, when their food supply was cut off, all right, the import-export system was affected. All right, now if you go down there to Cuba, it looks like you're back in the 50s. All right, same thing with the hood. That's a war. That's an attack on Jake, man. When they're deprived of healthy food, and then they're so addicted to it that you might have a farmer's market in the hood, but Jake ain't buying it like that. Their full meals don't come from the farmer's market. But in that same environment, it's a Church's Chicken. It's a Popeyes, KFC. Ain't that something? It's a Burger King. And who wouldn't spend $5? What low-income person would want to spend $5 on what they perceive as a full meal, versus going to a farmer's market and putting vegetables together that they have to create time to make a full meal? All right. But that's pretty much the point, man. This is the the edification before we clock in for Satan, man. These environments that we work in is not healthy, man. All right? But, you know, we got to go against the grain until the kingdom is established within the planet Earth. All right, but with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I would like to give out honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Hahakudash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness in the house of everything elect. The Bible, Kamashah, Shalom.